What does an apple pie and a medicine ball got in common? Charlie Bronson, that's what. I'm Kate Cray, and this is Hard Bastards. Charlie Bronson has been in jail for 28 years. 22 of those years have been spent in solitary. He's said to be the most violent, dangerous prisoner in the system. He's like a delinquent child, that if someone says, throw a stone through that window, he'll do it, or take that prison officer hostage, then he'll do it. But I think that it's to get a reaction, to get noticed a lot of the time. Charlie is a hard bastard, although he wants me to say he's an ex-hard bastard. And I think that probably he is an ex-hard bastard now, because he doesn't want to be in prison anymore. He doesn't want to take any more hostage, and he doesn't want to fight anymore.
When you've done a long time in prison, the world leaves you behind. You're lost. You think you know it, but you don't.
A year ago, Saira Rahman, a Bangladeshi single mother from Luton, became Mrs. Bronson.
He's not a rapist, he's not a woman killer, he's not a child killer, you know. He's not even a killer. He hasn't even harmed anybody, or even killed anybody.
In prison, it's such a hard, brutal world, and all of a sudden along comes this woman, and he's totally in love, and he wants to change, he wants to be different.
Look what they're doing to my husband. I mean, he has to sleep on a concrete floor. He hasn't been losing his temper with anybody or anything for last 9 months, you know. So in return, is that what they give him? That they're not even willing to give the man a chance.
Last time she come up to see me, I leaned across the visiting table. Smell her skin, smell her face. It smelled like an apple pie. It smelled lovely.
I mean, if there's any place where I would feel safe, anybody's arms, it's my husband's.
I think that Saira is seeing Charlie through rose-tinted glasses. She sees this man who is totally in love with her, who's given her all the attention. That is her life, and Charlie is living his life through her at the moment.
Do you know something? If anything happens to my husband, I'll actually die, and I do believe that, and that is frightening.
In some ways, they had a traditional British wedding.
Have you got a message to Charlie as you're on your way to see him?
I'm coming to get you.
Except the ceremony took place behind bars. So this is Wood Hill, this is the prison you actually got married in?
Yeah, that's where I got married.
And what was your day like?
Well, I actually want to remember only that bit when I was getting married inside, because that was the best part of it. And as we were getting married, you know, and after that we were allowed to spend some time together, him and his mom and me. So that was the best part of the day, and the rest I just don't remember.
Sarah, thanks for the best day ever. Now go and enjoy the party with your husband, Charlie.
Here is £500 for you to get drunk.
Oh, you don't drink. I don't drink.
It's supposed to be families, friends, and none of my family was there, none of my friends. Just my daughter.
It was a very good day. Only the good day was when he was there in the prison. The rest I don't want to remember. It was a nightmare. It was just me and my mum, and there were about 1,000 strangers.
Just one or two people that I only spoke once or twice before. I haven't even met his mum.
Were they from the underworld? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, in the party, yeah. There's a lot of people from the underworld, yeah.
Then there's going to be a big party, and everyone's going to that party, show their respects. But my wife, and Sarah's going to dance one of her classical dances, traditional Bangladesh, and everyone's going to watch it.
It was a double celebration. It was also Saira's 31st birthday. So did you really know what you was getting into when you married Charlie?
Yeah, of course I did. But my husband at the same time always told me, I'm not a gangster, Sarah. He said to me from my second letter, I do have friends. I did serve times with people and they're good friends. But I'll never be known as a gangster.
But you can't apologise for his past, can you?
No, I can't because I wasn't there. But my husband always said to me, don't make any excuses for me what I've done. But, underline but, I have paid severely for all the crimes I've committed. And now that I met you, I've got you and Sammy, and I just want to change, and I just want a decent life, and that's exactly what I want.
She's got a lovely, lovely daughter. Sammy. Brilliant. Very respectful. Good kid. Orange belt in karate. 10 years old. I'm proud of her. She calls me Dad.
She actually started to call him Dad before even she met him. One day she wrote a letter to him, and she usually shows me what's in the letter. She said, no, Mum, you can't see that letter. It's just between me and him. I said, okay, fine then. And she sent it off, and then he sent it back to me saying that, look, she wants to call me Dad.
How has it affected your life?
It's made it harder at school. Like, I've lost less friends, but. It doesn't matter, you see. 10 friends gone for one dad. So it's kind of a trading. You lose 10 friends and Dad comes in. My best friend.
Charlie's banged up 24 hours a day, and all he's got is his pens and paper. He's a prolific cartoonist, and he's always sending his drawings to family and friends. I think that his art is all about himself. It's about security cameras on him, maybe chained up to a wall or on all fours talking to a mouse or a spider. I think that his artwork reflects what's going on in his mind. A little bit of lunacy, I think. Hello, Henry. Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah, nice to meet you, finally.
We took some of his recent work to an art dealer, Henry Boxer, who specialises in what's known in the business as outsider art.
Well, I just thought I'll show you some of the things that you haven't seen before. Now, what do you think of that? That's obviously him.
Has he changed his name now then, Sarah? Because it was Mickey Peterson, wasn't it? Then he went to Charlie Bronson.
Yeah.
What's he going to be now?
He's taken my dad's surname, so it's Ali Charles Ahmed.
So is he going to become a Muslim then?
That's right. I mean, he's been thinking about it since we got together, and we've been together for 10 months, you know, so he's been studying Islam as well. I can actually pick up what sort of mood he's in when I get his art. I know exactly how he feels. And that's the best one.
This is Osama bin Bronson, yes? That one? That's what the public are going to think.
Public can think whatever they like.
I like the ones that, you know, where he's drawing different ones. So he draws them about these people. Do you?
Yeah, I love his eyes, because I'm fascinated with his eyes. I can see my whole picture into those eyes.
This man who's been portrayed as a monster, I think that's something that the British public, if they saw some of these images and the thoughts behind them, I think that would change their perception quite drastically.
I've seen exhibitions of Reg and Ron, but their art was dreadful. I've seen them in magazines, the psychologists saying, oh, this man is deep, dark, mental illness because it had a red sky. And when I took it and showed Ronnie, he said, it's the only bleeding colour paint I had in my box. I am in Broadmoor, and so it blew it out of the sky, it just made me laugh.
I mean, take this work, for instance. Even if I didn't know it was a Charles Bronson work, I would be interested, I'd be drawn to it, and I'd want to find out about the background of this artist. And I'd say there was a talent there.
So do you think that Charlie's the next Picasso, then?
I don't think so.
Van Gogh? Van Gogh?
No.
Van Gogh? Then we headed out to this really spooky gaff in Gloucester, where both our husbands were on display in all their glory. We got one thing in common, haven't we, here? What? It's our old man's pictured in here. Let's have a squeeze. There he is, look. There he is again. Do you know why you married him?
Yeah, I did. I actually knew it straight away when he actually wrote back to me. When he wrote back, first letter to me, he said, there's so many women writes to me, and half of the time, 99% of the time, they're just a bunch of idiots, you know. But there's something special about you. And it's like we've got some sort of connection, and that's when I knew it. That's the one for me. I was in love with him for 3 years.
I couldn't say that. People say to me, but why did you marry him? It wasn't that I love him. It was a situation I found myself in. I'd come to a crossroads in my life, and I couldn't have any children, and I didn't fit with coffee mornings and Pampers, and I didn't fit with this one, I didn't fit with that one, and I didn't know until I was with him that it was like a safety. He was okay. He didn't want to sleep with me. He was in prison, but he didn't want to sleep with me, so that was safe. He didn't just want me for that. He didn't want me, you know, to have children. He didn't want any of those things. And for once, I was safe. And do you feel that?
No, I think even though we have got things in common about you and me, it's an entirely different situation because.
Why?
No, I don't need Charles Bronson or anybody else to protect me or for me to feel safe.
I don't mean protect it as in someone's going to hurt you.
No, or feel protective. No, he's the person I feel. That's where I feel the safest place. Look at this. Look.
What?
What a load of rubbish.
Why? Why is it rubbish?
Because that's not true.
Let me tell you, some of the press that we've had from Ron was terrible. And when he died, they actually took his brain. It's not in here, is it? No doubt I'll come across it in here.
I can't believe you're laughing.
What can you do? You can't cry, can you? Good grief. Ron would have said how much to get for it.
I think that's when he was really ill, and you can tell that he's not so fit, you know, and that's to do with when he was stabbed in Whitemore.
In Whitemore?
Yeah. Better.
Do you feel sad when you see things like this? Why do you feel sad? See, I don't feel sad about it. You know, you just... Maybe is it because you're new to it? But that's his past. You can't get away from his past because then he's come through to the man that he is now. I can look up there. There's my husband with his boyfriend. This is his past. That doesn't upset me. It doesn't upset me at all.
Yeah.
Is it you don't like to think of him like this?
No.
Come on, let's go and see if we can find Ron's brain, eh? Come on. How many times does he write to you a day?
He writes every day. Let's see, there's so much in here. Insanity.
Is this the most exciting bit of your day?
Yeah, that's the first thing in the morning I look forward to, the postman. Sometimes if he's late, I just grab him somewhere in the middle of the road, say, have you got any letters for me? I feel empty when I don't get his letters. Really empty. That's the park he used to hang around when he was little. Well, that's the nearest park we go to, and I just usually sort of sit there and hang around and everything.
What does it sound like?
She sits alone, but I'm inside her heart.
And how do you feel when you read something like that?
Sometimes there might be Sammy sitting there. But what he's trying to say is, you know, you're not alone, I'm there with you.
That's the tree where Dad used to stand in with the ducks. And he climbs the trees and everything.
Yeah, I bet he used to get into trouble as well.
Where do you sleep overnight?
I sleep on the floor, or sometimes I sleep here.
Why? Why don't you sleep in your bed?
Because he doesn't have a bed to sleep, that's why.
And that's why you don't sleep in a bed? Is that your way of feeling closer to him?
Yeah.
Is it?
The other day he showed me how to squash an apple. Where you get the apple in your hand, you count 1, 2, 3, and he squashed it. And the apple came out in 1,000 little pieces. Because he turns into a kid. I'm a kid myself. But he turns into a kid himself. So he's kind of a baby. My mum, we call him the little fat baby.
It was in a local newspaper that Sarah first saw a photograph of Charlie. At the time, she was working with women who were victims of domestic violence. So how is your community with you?
How do you think?
Well, I don't know. Do they treat you any different?
Yeah, everything's changed since all this publicity came out and since everything came out.
Are you sort of like...
looks and... Hello.
One spoke to you.
Yeah.
While we were filming, a man ran across the street and shouted insults at Syra.
Did you see that? Did you just see that? What that guy just said? How abusive he was. Why? Why? I mean, just tell me why. I mean,
They just come up and just shout at you?
Yeah, shout at me and calling me all sorts of names.
What did you think when you first heard that Syra was going to marry Charlie Bronson?
Stupid cow. Money grabber, simple. That's all it is. Money grabber. She don't know Charlie. What's his name? Charlie Bronson. You know what I mean? That poor geezer, he comes out of prison because when he was out last time, I think he was out for about a week maximum, and he was caught on Marsh Road trying to do a blag there on some, I think, what was it, a Lloyd's Bank there, back inside.
Why didn't they come face to face and say, hey, if you want to say to me slag, then say it right in front of me?
Oh, I love him. Fuck's sake. Taking a piss, that is.
So why do you think she did it then?
What's that?
Why do you think she...
Money. You know, it's got to be money. Obviously, the name, like the other one who married Ronnie, it's got to do with money, isn't it, really?
He was saying you married him for the money.
Money.
And for the name.
Do you know something? My husband does her money. He's got loads of money. Shall I tell you how much money he's got? He's only got £2.50 a week, the prison wages he gets.
Well, this is another thing he sent me. £210.
My family in Bangladesh is one of the richest family in that town.
He gave me 150 and Mum added on some more money.
If you've got money in Bangladesh, why don't you bring the money here and use the money to move to Kent where you really...
I don't want my dad's money. I don't want my mum's money. I don't want their money. I want to make my own money. I want to work hard for my money.
Barbara, if she wasn't married to Charlie Bronson, would you be giving her the time of day? People would give her a second look.
What do I have to do? Wear a big chain, don't wear girly clothes, don't wear any makeup, short hair, and 6, 7 rings on my fingers and say, I'm Charlie Bronson's wife. Don't mess with me. No. I'm a simple Asian woman, and just let me be, please. Poor me.
No, I don't know her personally. I wouldn't want to know her personally. A woman like that, you want to keep as far away as possible from her.
I would love to. I swear to God. I swear on my dead father's life. I would love to find out how he would feel if somebody calls his mum or his sisters what names he called me today. He's not man. He's not man enough. I would love to, and I'm going to find out one day. And I'm going to do exactly the same to him. And that is a promise.
She's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Even greater. When she smiles, it lights up the whole sky. It puts a rainbow in your heart. We're going to get a little cottage, and I'm going to call it Rainbow Cottage. We'll have a garden with an apple tree. Make our own apple pies. Yeah, I'm going to paint, create, and I want to do some sculptures with an axe. I'm going to get some dogs, bull mastiffs, because I love them. They got heads like donkeys. And I'm going to build a moat, and I'm going to fill it with piranhas. Maybe the odd crocodile. There's one sure thing. I won't have any burglars. They might get in, but they won't get back here.
Nigella Lawson, eat your heart out. An apple pie is Charlie's favourite. And ever since I've known him, he's always spoken about apple pies and medicine balls.
What are you doing in my kitchen?
What do you reckon on my apple pie? Can you do any better than me?
Well, I can do it rounder. Listen, he'll forget about his apple pie as soon as he tastes my own food.
And what sort of food will you be cooking for
No,
him?
he told me he loves Asian food, spicy food and everything. I just don't like apple pies, but he actually says it to me these days in the letter. You're actually better than apple pies.
Why? Who's apple pie? And do you think you're better than apple pie for him? Certainly better.
What do you think? I should answer.
Are you sweet as?
I'm perfect. Do something with this cake.
What's the cake, Sarah?
It's the wedding cake. You people have wedding cakes in this country, don't you, when you get married?
And so what? Did you have 3 tiers?
Yeah, that's the middle one, I think, yeah. The small one's gone to his mum.
Oh, but aren't cakes saved, wedding cakes, for when...
Yeah, I heard it. You save it for your kids or something. What are you looking in my stomach for?
When you have a baby.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. That's your tradition, isn't it?
Are you going to have any more children?
Yeah, 10.
10? Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with 10?
With 10. I come from 17, darling.
I've got one already, so it'll make football team.
In my family, there's 17 children.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
No,
There's nothing wrong with 10.
No, we might have 1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah. What lies ahead of you and Charlie?
Well, he actually talks about going to Bangladesh a lot. He's been talking about this for a long time. And he just wants to get away from all this corrupted system and sort of corrupted place and corrupted country that he thinks England is. And he thinks that if I stay in this countryside, one day I'm just going to get shot dead or something. Somebody will do something to me. There's a lot of people out there who hates me.
Oh, I think my pie's ready. Have a look. Here's one I made earlier. Now that's what you call an apple pie. There you go, Charlie. Is it going to go on like this for another 20 years? You're just writing him letters?
What do you mean 20 years? Who said he's going to be in there for 20 years? Where did you get that information from?
I plucked it out of the air.
Oh, right. Well, you shouldn't be plucking too many things anyway. He's got his appeals coming up, and we're hoping that he's going to be out, if not 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 years. It could be less.
When Charlie does come out, I mean, if he does come out in 5 years' time, how on earth?
There's no ifs or buts about it, so just say when he comes out. It's a completely different world, isn't it?
I mean,
to him,
yeah. Don't you think he's going to come out? I mean, he's totally...
He's going to have the biggest shock of his life, yeah. He will. And that's why I'm preparing him. That's why I'm there for.
I've changed. I've really changed. Some would say I'm institutionalised. I don't know whether I am or I ain't. But all I know is I'm now fighting to go home.
But don't you think you've just got a romantic notion about what your relationship is with your husband?
So
you can never touch him.
So what
I don't mean physically, but I mean you can't... How can you possibly reach him?
So what do you know what I write in my letters? I just don't sit on my backside and write love letters. We actually literally live each other's life in every day's letter.
You know, you can gallop off into the sunset, both of you. That's what you want to happen, but it's not going to be like that.
It will be like that. How do you know? What makes you think that this is not what it's going to be like? Because that's what I believe.
I think that Syra is maybe a little bit lost. She's a bit of a romantic fantasist. That's what I think. But if she helps to soothe the little animal in the cage, then soothe away.
I can't believe you're talking like this.
I am talking like this because it's going to happen. And you people are just going to sit there and watch.
Romantic nonsense.
No, it's not. Trust me. Write this down. Time and the date. It will happen.
But don't you question her motivation?
I don't question motivation. I don't really give a toss.
Do you know something? I actually don't enjoy media. I hate it because you people get on my nerves sometimes.
Get off the fence, Kate. I don't question her motives. I don't really give a toss. Plain speaking, that's what we need. Kate seems to hide behind the language of poetry. She's only thinking of our sensitive natures, though, bless her.